folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country, where I react to non-pop country music songs. Could be bluegrass, could be western, could be red dirt, folk, just non-pop, traditional. I do a lot of traditional. I don't know this artist as far as I know, McKenna, and the song is People Get Old, and it was requested by Gypsy Soul. And Gypsy Soul said, you said that you've been subscribed for 6 of the 7 years that I've had the channel. So thank you for that. Very cool. I know there are a lot of folks who've been subscribed and they don't comment or what have you. And then every so often you'll show up in the comments. I'm like, oh, that's a new name. But Gypsy Soul, I've seen your name a few times in the comments. But I don't know Lori's music and I don't know this song. So here we go. People get old. That's the good news and the bad news. Oh, I like the Pace Studios videos.
Someone said youth is wasted on the young. I spilled every last drop of time that summer in the sun. My daddy had a Timex watch, cigarette in his hand and a mouthful of scotch, spinning me around like a tilt-a-whirl on his arm. Houses need paint, winters bring snow. Your kids come on in before your supper gets cold. Collection plates and daddy's billfold, and that's how it goes. You live long enough, people get old.
A lot of details in there.
I sat up right beside him in the cab of that truck, going 30 miles an hour down a side road, talking about the fish we caught. And I'm older now than he was then. If I could go back in time, I would in a second. To his beat up blue jeans and a t-shirt with the sleeves cut off.
I love that detail. I'm older now than he was back then. And then you only see your parents as older than you. But then when you get old enough, and so the first time that thought strikes you, and it'll return, is, what was my mother going through? What was my father going through? My God, she was 26 years old with 2 kids, 28 years old with 3. And you're like, holy cow. But you didn't see it that way back then because they were so much older than you. They were just the bosses. Then you realize, my God, they really didn't know what they were doing because, look, they were so young.
Houses need paint, winters bring snow. Kids growing up and sneaking out the window, hitting every small town dirt road, and that's how it goes. You live long enough, people get old. Yeah, people get old. Daddy keeps busy in the afternoons playing cards by himself, and he shouldn't be shoveling that first snow, but you know he won't take the help. Full of pride and love, he don't say too much, but hell, he never did. You still think he's 45, and he still thinks that you're a kid.
Yeah.
One day you find yourself saying the things they said. You'll be walking up the hallway, turning off every light switch. And you'll twirl your kids in your arms. Before you know it, won't take too long. They'll be running off, making a life just like you did. Houses need paint, winters bring snow. Nothing says love like a band of gold. Babies grow up and houses get sold, and that's how it goes. Time is a thief, pain is a gift. The past is the past, it is what it is. Every line on your face tells a story somebody knows. It's just how it goes. You live long enough, the people you love get old.
Yeah. Nice. It's sort of like a default setting in some ways to think that in a setting like this and a song like that, that the vocalist wrote those lyrics. I don't know if Lori wrote those. Something tells me she did, but it could have been a song that maybe he wrote or somebody else wrote in her band if she's got one. I assume she does, just not here. But I love the details in the way it was they were laid out, the different sort of, it wasn't just the individual details, but it was almost like not in halves, but kind of like almost in thirds, where it's like when you're young, here's what life is like. You sneak out the window, you talk about the fish you caught, and your father is in there. He was smoking, and they had bourbon or scotch or something, and then a little bit later, you're older than he was then. He's 45, but or he's older, but he still thinks he's in his 40s, but he still shovels that first snow. As we know, older folks, that is a big killer of older folks, is shoveling. But you don't want to take the help. I'm in that camp. I mean, I'm in good shape. But yeah, I do Pilates and yoga every single day, and I teach yoga and Pilates and all this stuff, among other things, because I do my own workouts every day, so I'm physically fit. But there's a difference, and it could happen at any minute. The big one could come and I'm gone. I get it. But, you live a certain way. You don't want to give it up. You don't want to give up your driver's license, even if your eyes go, because that's what you've known. And we don't want to give up that freedom that we've got, because it's giving up who we are. It's giving away our access to the outside world. But certain things, just by virtue of physical breakdown, go. But then, all right, so that was another third. And then the final third is like the house sells, the kids get married, you get that band of gold on there. Nothing says love like a band of gold, was the lyric. And then you sell the house, and things change, and one thing keeps going on. I guess people get old. So those were like the 3/3 of the song, but I like the individual details that filled out each third and the composite whole of the song. I like the way she sang it. There wasn't a smile in it. And I like smiles. I like smiles that are warranted in songs. But I also like it and appreciate it very much when performers stay in the pocket and keep true to the song. She didn't try selling the song, she just sang it. And that's one thing that Pace Studios does really well, is maybe it's just that environment where the artists tend to just be artists. They're not performing for a big audience. I don't think there's an audience at all, except for the few people behind the camera and on the soundboard. I don't know how it works there. I've never seen the studio. Maybe I should put that on my bucket list. Anyway, Gypsy Soul, I'm going to rate this one. Interesting. This type of song, too, fits your screen name. I love that. That's, just sort of a screen name like that says you're a bit of a philosopher, a bit of a wanderer, a bit of an open-minded person, and just sort of looking up at the stars versus down at the ground type person. And that's me as well. So, and a song like this fits. So I'm going to rate this. I mean, I like the way they strummed their guitar. I don't know if there was a lot of picking in there, or how would you guys would depict that, but the lyrics and the way the story is told resonates deeply. And the number that struck me, and because it was such a creative effort lyrically on what was put in, I don't know what got left on the cutting room floor, but there's probably 3 times the amount of things as got put in. But the number that struck me was a 9.1, and I think it's because I saw my childhood in this song. I saw me climbing out the window. That's what you do as a kid when your parents send you to your room. You're like, all right, there's a way out of this. I'm not going to be held in. Then you get in more trouble once they catch you sneaking out your window. But hey, that's the process of growing up. So, Gypsy Soul, thank you for that request. And I'll tag Lori in this as I tag the artists, and maybe she'll see it. So if you do, thank you, Lori. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.